Good day. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite most hated son. I am the diaspora matrix. My people, it was another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. Let me first remind you, the front of my sign says, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, and or the white man's fame. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you enslaved the African American, the Latinos, etc.? All in all, it was another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. There is nothing particularly interesting that I should bring to your attention as it relates to my protest. And as you know, when I have protested, and when I have updated you as to what transpired while I protested, it is always my pleasure and my delight to bring to your attention something of a social nature as it relates to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. My people, the truth is, Pinky, Chevron, and other young lady who Ralph Gonsalves victimized thought they were special because Ralph Gonsalves have the way of raping young girls in his office, and after he have raped them, he apologized to them, tell them that he couldn't control himself because they were so beautiful, and how he loved them and he cared for them. Many of them believed what he said. He will also convince them not to tell their parents or their guardians because their parents or guardians will not understand how he feels about them, and they will try to separate them. This is a man in his 40s, 50s, and 60s who's trying to convince a teenager that is underage, a minor, that he can conduct a meaningful relationship with them. So when Pinky and the others thought that they were special, they were just one in a long line of victims who Ralph Gonsalves created over many decades. Whilst I was a police officer in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, there were 3 ladies who provided the police at the Central Police Station and other members of our community with meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There was Miss Brown, there was Miss Carmen, and I can't remember the third lady name, a beautiful black woman. I think her name was Miss Williams. However, Miss Brown was from Annisville, Miss Carmen was from Candy Park, and I think the third lady was from Rockies. She had a daughter by the name of Clorisa. This is Clarisa's story. These 3 ladies knew my father very well. I was living in Kingston. I didn't have to go to their places for meals. And when I discovered that these 3 ladies knew my father Hamilton very well, I started frequenting their business, support their business. So instead of going by one person, Miss Brown, or Miss Carmen, or Clarisa's mommy, anytime I need a meal, I will rotate the person whose service I use. Because they were friends with my father, I couldn't choose one over the other. Clarisa's mommy was always arguing with her. And at first, I didn't understand what the argument was about. But after going there frequently, I discovered that Clarisa's mommy discovered that her daughter, who was a Form 2 student of the Bethel High School, was having sex with Ralph Gonsalves. Clarissa is still alive. She is probably in her 40s now. Then one day while I was having a meal at Clarisa's mommy shop, it was a morning, her mother said, Palmer, why don't you talk to Clarissa for me? I can't go with that girl. Then she proceeded to tell me a story that Clorisa was having sexual relationship with Ralph Gonsalves, and she had been trying to impress on her daughter that this man is an old man. There is no future for her with him. He is a married man that have children her age and even older than she is, and she will never leave his wife for her. Then I decided to talk to Clarissa. I said, Clarissa, your mommy told me to speak to you about the situation that you're in, right? But I personally don't know what to say about it. I don't know much about the relationship you have with Ralph Gonsalves. But if your mommy asks you, tell her that I speak to you. Then one day, when I went to their shop, Clorisa's mom was cutting her. And when I get there, she say, instead you look for a nice man like Palmer, you got me this old putty man. There is more to life and there's more to a relationship than getting Kentucky Fried Chicken from a man. Apparently, this was Ralph Gonsalves' MO. Anytime he raped a little girl in his office, and he told them that he couldn't control herself because she was so beautiful, and how he loved her and cared for her, and not to tell their parents because their parents will try to separate them. He gave them money to go to Kentucky and tell them anytime they want Kentucky that they must come to him. In the same way, he told Pinky's mommy, after Pinky's mommy went and confronted him of having sex with her underage daughter, after he told Pinky's mommy that Pinky gave him sex, he told Pinky's mommy, anytime she don't have nothing, just come to he and he will help her, or send Pinky one of them and he will make sure that they have what they need. So he will tell these underage girls, anytime they need Kentucky Fried Chicken, come to him and he will give them money to go to Kentucky. And you know, for these little children, it was a prestige thing because most of their parents were hardworking and was just able to make ends meet. They couldn't afford luxuries like sending their children or giving their children money to go to Kentucky Fried Chicken to buy Kentucky Fried Chicken, because Kentucky Fried Chicken establishment was just set up in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Clorisa's mommy was telling her there is more to a man and a relationship than that man giving you money to go to Kentucky. She told her, instead you look for a nice man like Palmer to start a relationship with, you go with that old putty man. Then Clorisa's mommy turned to him and said, Palmer, why don't you take Clorisa and make her your girlfriend? This was the level of frustration Clorisa's mommy was going through, trying to get her underage daughter, Clorisa, to stay away from Ralph Gonsalves. So when Pinky and Chevron and all of these little girls who thought they were special, they're not special. They were just one in a long line of victims that Ralph Gonsalves raped, convinced that they were so beautiful that he was unable to restrain himself, who he convinced that he loved them, and who he convinced not to tell their parents. They're not special. They're just one of many. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite most hated son. I am the diaspora much. My people, like this video, share this video, leave a comment on this video, let me know what are your thoughts about what was said here. Remember to like or subscribe based on whichever social media platform you're viewing from. There are many more videos like this right here. Go peruse those videos and let me know what your thoughts. Let me know which part of the world you're viewing this video from. My name is Chief Strongblood and I will talk to you on Friday.